Welcome back to my channel for Freedom Over 40. I'm Rhiannon. It's brilliant to have you here. It's always a pleasure, so thank you. So I am still working full time, okay, and I've got my list of things here that I like to always cover when I'm talking, because with the menopausal brain, as you know, your short-term memory is not what it used to be, okay? So I'm always referring to my phone for my list of information and bits that I want to make sure I always mention to you. So here we go. So I'm still working full time, but I know exactly how I'm going to leave my job. And this is the realistic step-by-step exit plan that I have put into place for myself. So if you're over 40 and you're dreaming of freedom, you can make one too. So here we go. So firstly, the reason why I'm looking to leave and become my own boss and look for the time freedom is because I'm basically fed up of the burnout from years of the same routine. The menopausal symptoms making the 9 to 5 grind is even harder than ever. I'm really finding it difficult more days. Some days, others, it sort of flits and flats, but fluctuates basically. I never know how I'm going to feel from one day to the next, and then how I feel in the morning is not necessarily a representation of how I feel in the afternoon. It really is, like this. It's like a roller coaster. Your emotions, your hormones, your everything is all over the place. And I've always wanted to have financial, be basically stress-free financially. After working for decades as well, I've really started to reflect basically on my own circumstances and, am I anywhere near where I want to be? No, basically. I want to change that. And again, money is not everything, but it gives you options, and I want that stability and that security for myself, and I want to make sure that I'm in control of that. I'm not going to have all my eggs in one basket anymore, not like before COVID, where I only had one income coming in from a job, and then I was supposed to start another job when we were in lockdown, and then that got cancelled, so I ended up being out of work completely and then getting into debt. So my plan is to basically pay off the debt, basically set up my online side business, which is in travel, which I've started doing. So that's a big tick. Growing my business with like-minded people, having fantastic training, which I'm currently going through and continue to do, because I do believe that you need to constantly look at ways to improve your skills, your knowledge. You're never too old to learn. That's one thing I'm 100% certain on. To me, every day is a school day, and I think if you don't learn anything, if you're not coachable, you're never going to grow. You're never going to be able to achieve 100% those dreams that you want to achieve. And for me, financial freedom and the freedom to do what I want when I want, and if I want to work, I work. If I don't want to work, I won't work. But it's not because I'm lazy. It's just I like to be in control of my life. I don't want to be dictated to anymore. I don't want to be having to go to people for permission to go and take a day off work for whatever reason. So to me, this is why it's so important. And like I say, I'm fed up of the financial stress of not earning a great deal of money, having bills coming in. Your wages goes literally the next day after payday, and then you've got the whole month left until you get paid again, and it's that forever vicious cycle that I'm sick and tired of being in. I'm done with it. I'm here to make an improvement in my life, but not just my life. I want to help others do the same. So this is why I set this channel up, because I do feel and I do believe there are so many people out there, male and female. It's not just about the menopause, okay? There are people out there just like me who are ambitious, who have got a lot of great skill sets that are transferable skills, are ambitious. They know that they're stuck in a rut. They know they're in a job that doesn't make them feel fulfilled, and they don't love what they do. They may be in an environment where there's a toxic environment. I've certainly been in quite a few of them. And it's not a pleasant place to be. It's not good for you physically and mentally. You need to be in a happy place, a happy environment. So this is why, again, I'm looking to change all that, and I've made steps. I've started doing things, putting things in motion. And I'm starting to build my team. I'm starting to do a lot more things myself outside of work. I'm training, I'm learning, and I'm progressing forward. So I'm doing all the things necessary around working 9 to 5, around having a home that I've got to run, and nothing it gets done for me. I've got to do everything myself. Okay, so as well as say dealing with the menopause, where I feel extremely tired, extremely fatigued all the time. My sleep is all over the place. Some nights are better than others. the heat can affect me. I'm always having a flush. I always have to sleep with my best friend, which is the fan. So that's on full setting right now because it's the summer months here in the UK, and I really feel like I just need to make things better for me, you know, because I'm already 45, and if I don't do this now, I'm never going to do it. Okay, and I've got to that stage where I've got to do something. I feel like whoever you believe, universe, God, whatever, has basically made me re-look at life, sort of realign everything, and reassess, I suppose is the word I'm really looking for, as to what I really need to do and what is important to me. And I think recently as well, after sadly losing a friend of mine to a very young age, it's also put things back into perspective again for me. And I think just do it. Just take messy action. It doesn't matter if you don't know everything, because that's the whole point. You're not supposed to know everything. If we did, it'd be so much easier, right? And everyone will be doing it as well. So I think as long as you're motivated, as long as you're focused, and as long as you're driven, that's half the battle. And you just learn as you go. And if you make mistakes, you make mistakes. It's how we learn, right? It's how we get to understand something, or, you know, it's through making those mistakes. You know, the same analogy is when you want to learn to drive a car. You know, if you wanted to drive a car, you didn't just get in the car and drive. You'd have to learn the highway code. You'd have to do your theory here in the UK. You'd also have to have multiple lessons to be able to learn how to physically drive the car. And whether that's a manual, which is a stick type gear system that we have in the cars here, or whether that's an automatic transmission. But either way, you'd still need to learn all those functions and know how to handle a car, and the biting point if you're using a gear stick manual car, for example, and hill starts and all the rest of it, parking. So you wouldn't just be able to get into a car, in other words, and then just drive. You'd have to physically learn as you go along and practice. And that's literally what I'm doing every day. I'm making small steps, going forward constantly. And to me, that's the momentum. It's building a compound effect. You know, it's like a snowball. It starts really small, and gradually the snowball gets bigger and bigger as it picks up more and more snow. Well, that's how I look at myself with the businesses that I'm doing, especially with the travel. Because there's lots of facets, lots of things you can learn within it, which is so important, but yet also really, really interesting. Well, I find it interesting anyway. And also YouTube. I've always wanted to do YouTube, and I've made a couple of attempts in the past, but things have got in the way. So many things have happened. I could write more than one book on. And to be honest, it wasn't the right time, and I understand that now. You know, upon reflection, I'm naturally a reflector. I understand that, you know, those times that I wanted to start a channel, it just wasn't the right time. Now, to me, I feel it is the right time to start this channel, to build this community, to reach out to like-minded people like myself, who want to be able to come to a safe place, a safe channel where they can be themselves. I'm not here to judge, you know, I'm simply here to support and share the love. And I think we should all do that, because there isn't enough kindness, I think, in the world. We need to spread that kindness. It's like magic. And I truly believe that. So I know I've gone on a bit of a tangent there, but I just wanted to get that point over to you as well, why I'm here. It's not just about me and the business. It is about creating a community of people, like-minded people, that I also fancy to do something else with as well. So I'm looking to like branch into different areas. So I'll never be the one trick pony. I'll always be multiple faceted. I'll always do something or more than one thing. I'll never be just one thing, you know. I'll never just be a travel business owner. I will do multiple things, because I like variety. I like change. I like being creative, and that's in different areas. Like I like music, I like writing, I like poetry, I like writing lyrics for songs. Do you know what I mean? I like to do different things. I like being creative. I like art, drama, you know, acting. There's so many things I just love. And I've sort of dabbled in a few different things now and again as volunteering and stuff. But again, it's piecing those things together and just seeing where this will take me. So hence why I'm here. So to carry on with my notes. So for me, like I say, ultimately it's wanting to have time freedom to travel and to work on my terms. Now, like I've always said in all my videos so far, I absolutely love travel. It's my passion. I've always loved traveling somewhere warm every time I go away somewhere, if I go abroad. I also want to travel to all the estates in America. So far I've only been to New York. I plan to go back to New York actually, because New York is massive. And sadly, I was there only for 4 days, and one of those days I was really ill, so I couldn't even leave my hotel room one of the days I was out in New York. So I lost a day as well when I was out there, so I never got to see certain things that were on my plan, my agenda. So I do plan to go back to New York, and then I also want to basically bunny hop around different states. I want to go to like Texas, I want to go to Tennessee, I want to go Miami, California. I just want to go to so many places, so many different places. Yeah, so I just want to experience it all. Plus so many other countries as well. Like for me, in the Caribbean, ultimately the top of the shop for me is Jamaica. For those that don't know, I'm a massive reggae fan. I love reggae, love Bob Marley's music. I first heard Bob Marley when I was about 10 years of age, and since then I've been absolutely hooked on his music. I love it. And I just want to go and see where he lives basically, and where he grew up. I just want to go on a tour. I just want to experience like the sort of place that he lived, and just sort of take it in for myself, what he was seeing, at what he was looking at and feeling and experiencing. And I just love the vibe, you know, I really do. And I just think the culture is so amazing. And yeah, so I want to basically tour around Jamaica, go to Montenegro and Ocho Riches, I don't know how you pronounce it correctly, but there's so many places I want to go and see the falls. And yeah, and I know they filmed, I think it was one of the James Bond films out there as well, and so there's a lot of things to the place, you know. It's really interesting, and it's such a beautiful looking country from what I've researched on already, as well as in my travel business. That's another element as well, which is why I wanted to do the travel, because I could actually specialize in travel, and one area I want to specialize is Jamaica. So that's actually one of my goals, and I've actually completed one training course already on it, so I plan to revisit that as well again, just because I learned through repetition. So yeah, so there we go. So my non-negotiables before I quit my 9 to 5. So basically I want to have at least 3 to 6 months of essentials bills covered. So in other words, I need to put aside 3 to 6 months worth of money, like I would earn per month aside. So 6 months worth of wages I want to be able to save. So then I can then look at then leaving my full-time job to then go all in into my travel business and build that up more so, and put more time and energy in it, because at the moment I'm fitting in pockets of time, you know, whenever I can fit it in basically around my full-time job. So I work Monday to Friday 9 till 5. So what I find is I'm getting up an hour early in the morning so I can do a bit of training on the 20-minute call in the morning, which is like an IMV call. So this is basically it's basically having a little training session with one of the top earners in the company, and they will filter to you information that they do about how they got to where they've got, and you know, sharing tips and information and training and books and anything on self-development, because I'm a massive advocate on self-development, as I've already mentioned. And so for me this is about it's about basically starting off on the right foot each day, being in the right mindset. And I think that's so important, because some days, like especially with the lack of sleep that now we're going through the menopause, I do struggle, you know. Getting up early in the morning, way before 6 in the morning, is difficult, you know, when you've not had much sleep, and you know you've averaged about 3 to 4 hours broken sleep. It can be really tough, you know, it can be really hard going. So I go on to these calls now every Monday to Friday in the morning at 6 o'clock. I log in, I listen to that as I'm getting ready for work. And then what I do is I drive to work early, and then I do some work in my car, parked up, ready. So then I get a lot of my work done, and then I go into work to start. I start at 8:45, and then I'm in work with only a half-hour lunch break, and then I'm there till 5, and then I drive home. And then I'll be doing something like YouTube, and then I'll be doing more of my business. I'll have a cup of tea, you know, I'll be catching up on emails, I'll be catching up on training. Sometimes I've got online training, which is live, you know, it just depends. So I plan things out as best as I can per week. I plan sections as well of time when I'm going to do certain things, so that I know I'm committing myself to that. I'm focused, and I know I've got to get X, Y, and Z done. And then I like to upload my information, so I know, right, I know I've achieved this, I've done this. And it just helps me have that sort of, right, okay, what's next, you know, focus forward, never think about backwards, always fail forward, you know. It doesn't matter if you do something wrong, keep going, right? That's the best thing I could say, just keep going. So just to go back about my non-negotiables, like I said, I've got to have at least 6 months worth of salary saved up in the bank. So that's a goal I've got going on now. So building a side income that can at least match that as or part of my salary. I need to reduce the debt situation that I'm in also, which, you know, unfortunately I still have from before when I was married. I'm now divorced, and also when lockdown came with COVID, I was out of work, so sadly I went backwards with the monetary side of things and gained debt there. So that's why I still have that left outstanding. And just to have like a daily routine that works for me, currently outside my 9 to 5, and then when I'm able to go full time and for myself, I will have a set routine still, because at the end of the day, I still want this to work and to grow and to help and to spread myself in different areas with YouTube and other things as well, other projects that I want to be doing, plus books that I'm going to be writing and things that I've got in the pipeline. So I've got a lot of things there that I know I'm going to do. It's just starting those little things, you know, in motion. And basically, how am I building my exit plan? Well, it's simply by my travel business and how I'm growing it alongside my full-time job like I'm doing now. It's being present, it's showing up every day, it's being committed, it's being consistent. That's a massive, massive key. You have to show up every day and you have to be consistent. You know, as long as you do something positive, something that's going to help you grow, something that's going to help you develop, something that's going to help propel you forward, that's literally where you need to be. That's where you need to be focused. I'm also creating digital products as well on the side to generate an income as well. And also to be consistent, like I say, with content. So my content here on YouTube, I've committed myself to a 30-day challenge on YouTube. This is now day 6. I've consistently posted videos so far for 6 days running, and if it means it's a shorter video but I do something, then so be it. But I'm committing myself for 30 days here because I want to see if it will help me grow this channel. I want to see what feedback I get on this channel from you guys watching, which I completely and totally respect and appreciate you being here. I'm basically tracking my progress as I go along, not just with this, but also with my travel business, and to see if I need to make any changes, any tweaks, any adjustments, what else do I need to do, and so on, and keep going. It is tough, you know, I'm not delusional, and I'm not trying to make it, you know, sound glamorous or whatever. It is hard, it's grueling sometimes. And yes, there are days when I feel like, oh, I just could do with just rolling over and sleeping. But I know that whatever work I do now is going to help me in 3 to 5 years time, where I can do that when I want, because I'll be able to do what I want, because I'll be working for myself. I won't be working for anyone else anymore. I'll be doing me, I'll be doing what I want. And so if I want to have a lay in, and because I'm really tired and I've had a bad night's sleep, or I'm not feeling too well, then I can take it easy. Do you know what I mean? And that's the whole point why I am full force forward. I am just going with it and just seeing where this goes, where this takes me, and looking for any wonderful opportunities that may come along, from whether it's from YouTube, maybe branded partners that want to team up with me. Fantastic. You know, I'm very much open to suggestions and ideas. You know, I'm very much open book. So this is why I decided to just go all in, and this is why I'm here. Also, thing is as well, I suppose, what I like to think about as well is that you don't have to quit for tomorrow, okay? You just have to start today, and that's ultimately the overall sort of words I'm trying to explain to people. Even 1 hour a day on your future is better than none, and that's so true. It's like, you know, people that want to start getting their mileage up with walking, like get their steps in. Well, if you just decided to get up and walk outside the door, or walk to the front of your drive or the front of your street and then walk back again, that's already a step in the right direction. You're already gaining more steps than you would have done if you just sat on the sofa all day or laid in bed. And then if you went then out the following day, and then you went, say, to the end of the next second street further along, or the block, or whatever you would call it where you live, and then come back again. You know what I mean? It's things like that. It's just building up steps and keep going, yeah? Keep building up. And it's just, again, generating that momentum and compound effect, really. And that's exactly the same thing with the business. You know, I'm still reaching out to people. I'm still talking to people about the business daily. I'm still committed and showing up to every training session there is online. Doesn't matter what time it is. Sometimes training doesn't start till 8:30 in the evening, 9 o'clock sometimes. But I'm there. even though I want to be in bed asleep because I'm shattered and there are days where I can hardly keep my eyes open, I still show up and I still listen and I still make notes. I have a pen and paper with me always. I even have a pen and paper next to me at the side of the bed, because sometimes I'll start thinking of something and I'm thinking, oh, I got to jot it down. Or I've even had a dream and I'm thinking, oh my God, I just dreamt some lyrics to a song. I did that about a month ago, and I've actually written a song, lyrics, because it was something that just came to me in a dream and I just written it down. And this is basically how I am. I just go with the intuition and whatever, you know, nudges I get along the way. If you're spiritual like me, I believe there's a higher purpose and higher calling. Whether that's something you believe in or not, that's entirely up to you. But for me, I take it as gospel and I go with it. You know, I feel like that's what I'm supposed to do. Fine, I'll make a note of that and then I'll park it on a piece of paper out of my head, so then I can try and then turn over and go to sleep. Do you know what I mean? And then I'll go back to whatever it is when I have a spare 5 minutes, half hour, whatever it is. 9 times out of 10, it actually revolves around more the weekends, because the weekends I'm far freer than I am in the evening. But like now I'm doing my recordings, I'll upload this, I'll do a short section of this as well at the beginning of the film. And then I'll be back to doing some more work on my business after this. So I'm constantly on this like cycle, keep going. So just to sort of basically summarize what today's video is all about, it literally is about not quitting your job straight away. It's about having an action plan in place. So my action plan for me is having 3 to 6 months worth of wages in the bank saved up. It's also to get rid of the debt as well at the same time. Once I've got rid of the debt, once I've got the money saved up in an account ready so I can actually go solo and sack the boss, then I'm good to go. So in the interim, I'm going to keep building my business. I'm going to keep doing my YouTube. I'm going to keep doing my TikToks and my Instagrams and whatever else I'm going to be doing. Keep building momentum, keep doing the training, keep learning, keep building the business. And also I'm going to be creating my digital products as well, which I'll start introducing soon on the channel, and also start to look at, you know, generating other things as well around this, because I think it all comes together. It's a bit like a jigsaw puzzle. You know, you start slotting those pieces together to create the overall picture, the overall vision that you have, and that's what I certainly have. So if anything I'm saying to you today is igniting that little fire in your belly, you know, that sort of spark, that desire to want to do something, be creative, learn something, do something, take action. I hope this video has helped you. I know my last 2 videos haven't been as good because I know it was just a crazy weekend, and oh yeah, traveling and stuff as well. But at least I did my videos. I still did what I said I would do, and that was commit to doing a video each day. So some will be shorter, some will be longer. It just depends on time as well that I've got and what content I'm going to be talking to you about today. But here we go. So anyway, enough of me for today. I hope what I've said helps. I hope it encourages people and inspires people to take action, to do something, whether it's a completely different subject to me that you've got a passion for. Go for it, guys, because life's for living. You don't know when your time is up. Like I said recently, I've just recently lost a good friend of mine who was very young. It was quite a shock to the system indeed when I heard the news. And it just basically gave me the kick up the bottom, basically to say, Rhiannon, go for it, because you know, you never know when your time is up. Not to be all morbid, but it's fact, right? We've got to speak about facts here. There's so many of us that are miserable. There's so many of us that are unhappy in our current circumstances, whether that's with a job, whether that's to do with a relationship, whether that's to do with our finances, or all of them. You know, like I was once married, I'm no longer married. I got divorced 5 years ago. My divorce went through during the first year of lockdown. And you know, it's sad. It's like a bereavement at the end of the day. Although it was my decision, I had to do it for me because my sanity had had enough. There is only so much people can put up with, and you know, not being disrespectful to the person I was once married to, because I'm very happy for him. I hope he moves on, and I know he's with someone now, and good luck, you know. That's all I will say on that matter, and I'm amicable. You know, I don't want to be holding grudges. I ain't got energy for that, to be honest with you. I'm not that type of person anyway. But I had to get out of it for me, and my happiness basically had to come first. I had fed up of putting someone first for 7 years and not getting anything back in return. So that's why I walked away from that marriage, basically. Anyway, enough said. So just to recap, please think about where you are in life. What is it that inspires you? If you haven't done something that you've always wanted to do and desire, take action. If you want to change your job, change your job. Look for something first, of course. Don't just walk out unless you have absolute loads of money in the bank that you can survive on for the next 6 months plus. If you're looking to do something online, you're not sure what, would travel be of interest to you? If it does, please contact me. I can certainly reach out to you. And depending on where you live, because the only thing I would say is there's only so many countries at the moment that the business is open up until, although we can book travel for anywhere in the world, where you physically operate the business, there is at the moment only certain countries that you can be in. So I would suggest reaching out to me. I do have another online business which I started last year, and that's still running by itself completely fine. That's a lot more open to a lot more countries than the travel, but either way, again, I can still discuss that with you. But either way, please just get in touch and show me your support. Please subscribe, give me a like, and any suggestions you'd like me to talk about in a video, I will certainly take on board as well at the same time. That said, it's been over 26 minutes now that I've been talking. It's quite a long video. So thank you so much for your time, guys, as ever. I do appreciate it. Have a lovely evening. Stay kind. Stay blessed. Good night. Speak to you tomorrow.